staying productive and not staying productive, being unproductive, will be the difference between success and failure in your life. Now, I'm just going to go over sort of why we should stay productive in general in life, habits to avoid, habits to follow, and how I stay productive as a 20-year-old entrepreneur. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, you're 20, what can you teach me? Well, there may be some stuff that I do or I've done that you haven't. So maybe you'll learn a thing or two. So just stay tuned. So why should we stay productive? It is literally the only way to succeed in life. You need to always constantly be working on something. Whether that be yourself, relationships, skills, business, your general personal life and self-improvement, learning a language, whatever it may be. Stay productive and your mind and your future will thank you for it. Now, a thing about staying productive is that you sometimes, when you're alone in life, you may not have many friends, you may be single, it's very hard to stay productive if you don't have a purpose. Now, you got to find that purpose. For me, that purpose is purely just avoiding the lifestyle that I've put below. 9 to 5, same friends, taking orders from your boss, drinking every weekend, doing drugs. That's not me. I think there's more to life than that. Personally, I don't have an issue with anyone who works a job and goes out every weekend. That's absolutely fine. But for me, life is worth more than just this. So that's basically why we stay productive, or why I stay productive, to avoid the type of lifestyle that everyone lives. And you can't expect a different outcome if you're doing the same things. It's literally impossible. You just can't. You need to be more productive and more willing to do stuff that other people are not willing to do, and that is the reason why you will succeed and they will not. Now, habits to avoid. Self-pleasure. What I mean by this is basically stop wanking. Now, I'm no scientist for any of these reasons, so excuse the lack of knowledge, but you're basically lowering your testosterone as a man. Now, why is this necessary to keep a high testosterone rate? It's very necessary because without testosterone, you will feel like your day is completed. So, say first thing in the morning, you wake up and you bust one. Your body will now tell you that that is your task completed for the day. Think back to caveman times. Our sole task was to reproduce with a woman. And if you've done that first thing in the morning, you've completed your job. You've done your job as a human. So your body's going to switch off. You're not going to be as switched on in your head, and you're not going to be as motivated to go out there and actually complete tasks, so you'll be able to get that woman or get that money or avoid that lifestyle. It's just what you need to do. Stop self-pleasuring. Yes, it's difficult. I know it's difficult, but once you stop and you actually harness the energy that you gain from not doing this bad habit, you will thank yourself 10 times. Consuming content. Now, what I basically mean is get off of Netflix and TikTok and Instagram. Stop fucking scrolling on your phone. Consuming content will quite literally be the biggest time killer that you can face. I think I read something the other day, and I think we sleep for a third of our lives, or should, and we now, as a race, consume content for a third of our lives. So only a third of the average person's life is doing something productive or not consuming content that other people have made. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd rather be the one making the content and others consuming it, rather than me consuming content and others are making money off of me consuming their content. Now, it's a difficult one because as a content creator, I cannot delete all these TikTok and Instagram and things like this, because my job is based around social media. But if I had a choice and your job involves, not having social medias, delete them. Just get rid of them. You'll feel 10 times better, 100%. Staying indoors all day. Now, I get that some days you're going to be working literally 18 hours a day. That's absolutely fine. I've been there. I've done that. But it's important to not do that too often, for one. And two, just to get out for half hour or an hour a day and just soak in vitamin D. Actually get out and breathe some fucking air instead of breathing in this shitty, like, your own skin particles and shit particles. Just get outside. Drugs and alcohol, self-explanatory. They ruin your brain. They ruin your life. Staying in bed. Now, again, not a scientist, but if you condition yourself to be laying in bed, watching TikToks or watching films, you're then telling your body that this space, aka your bed, is a place to stay awake in. Now, you want to condition your body to literally just fall asleep in your bed, and that is the most productive habits to avoid, the most unproductive habits to avoid, in my opinion. There's obviously more, a lot more. Habits to follow. Always be polite and friendly. Now, yes, this is difficult for some. Now, what I mean is, of course, not many people just go about punching people in the face. Like, that's not what I really mean. What I mean is, if you're running a business, you outreach to a client and they are not very impressed by your pitch. They tell you to do one. Just respond, say, have a nice day. That's it. And then they will then reflect on that and be like, oh, this guy's actually a nice guy. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. And they'll regret that in their head. That's the only thing that you should be doing. If your ex cheats on you, fucking just take it on the chin. Be like, okay, nice one. Have a good life. Don't be hanging about, trying to ruin their life, trying to do all this shit. Be polite and friendly. Stick to your word. Now, not just your word as in your word to deliver to other people, but your word to deliver to yourself. Now, if I give myself a task, I have to complete that task. Why? Because if you set yourself a task and you say in the morning, I'm going to do this, you don't do that task. You are then telling yourself that you are mentally incapable of completing tasks. Therefore, you are transforming your mind to accept defeat. That's not what you want. Stick to your word against other people as well, and yourself, especially yourself. Get out and about. Again, get outside, soak in vitamin D, socialise, whatever you need to do. Exercise is an obvious one. It increases dopamine levels, etc. You just look fitter. People want to do business with people who look fitter, etc. Create content. Again, covered that in the last one. Create content instead of consuming content, because you'll be the one gaining money and others will be consuming your content like a fucking zombie. And more, of course. There's so much more tasks, habits to follow in your life. Now, how I stay productive as a 20-year-old man. First thing I do when I wake up, literally the first thing I do, get out of bed. In fact, no, I check my phone first, and I know that's bad, but there's so much shit. I work internationally, so there's obviously times of the day where I'm asleep and other people are messaging me, etc. I check my phone. Then I get out of bed. Then the first thing I do when I'm out of bed is write tasks that need doing on this day. If they're uncompleted, I have a punishment written under there. As you can see over here, I have tasks to complete, and I have fail equals 5 kilometer run, 100 burpees, 100 pull-ups. Now, some people may be like, oh, what a pussy, that's not even a punishment. It's just a normal workout. But I'm unfit at the moment, so allow it. You need to learn to stick to your own word. Now, if you can't trust yourself, how can anyone trust you in business, in life, in relationships? It will affect your whole life if you cannot stick to your own word. It's so important. I can't stress that enough. So, if you do not complete the tasks that you set for yourself in the morning, these are examples of ones that I have set for myself. This isn't today, but a few days ago. 25 times outreach, just messaging people. Easy. Follow up on a certain name, which I do not want the public to know. Complete week 6 is a mentorship program. So my mentorship program on OnlyFans Management, I completed the 6-week program, the whole course and everything. So all the students will be basically fully trained. Film shorts, again, creating content, so important nowadays. Change ad targeting for a certain company that I run. LinkedIn personal brand, that's something I want to get into. I want to get into LinkedIn more because I understand the business opportunities that come from LinkedIn. Bars means a workout. It's like pull-up bars. It's like outdoor gyms. We have them in London. I don't know if anywhere else has like outdoor pull-up bars and shit, but I do the majority of my exercise on pull-up bars and shit like that. So those are some examples of tasks that I set, and obviously the punishment that I set. Now you can do any sort of task you like. Exercise, beginning to set up that business you've always wanted to start. Create a video for your personal brand. So again, creating content. I can't stress how important that is. Punishments, running, reading, anything sort of challenging that will lead to self-improvement. And it's important that it leads to self-improvement, you know. You can set up a punishment which is like step on 100 needles or fall over and break your nose, but how is that? That's just going to delay your productivity. And I do see, funnily enough, I do see the benefit of punishing yourself in these ways. Pain is important to go through as a man, and I see where people get this idea of I need to punish myself, so I'll fucking hurt myself. I get it, but it's pointless. It won't lead to anywhere. You need self-improvement. You need to learn that language, read that book, write up on that course you bought, buy that course, fucking set up that business, do whatever you need to do. But this is how I stay productive in my business, in my life. So purely, you can obviously work around this. You can find your own way of doing it. You don't have to buy a whiteboard and shit. You can just write it down on a computer. But this is purely how I stay productive in my life, and this is how I complete tasks. Now, you might think on the right, oh, that's not a lot of tasks. How do you struggle to get that done in a day? Because I add stuff as well. When I complete a task and rub it off, I'll add another one. So if I complete everything, of course. So yeah, that is literally how I stay productive. Any sort of questions, if you want to DM me on Instagram, that's absolutely fine. And yeah, stay productive is absolutely paramount to business success, keeping relationships, etc. You need to stay productive as a man, as a human, as a woman. Stay productive, and yeah, your life will be 10 times better.